The wind carried a soft murmur through the valley, a voice lost to the rustling of leaves and the gentle hum of nature's song. Elara closed her eyes, letting the whisper brush against her skin like a lover's touch. She had heard it before, countless times, in the hush of midnight and the stillness of dawn. It was a promise, fragile as morning mist, yet unyielding as a mountain that stood sentinel over her home. For years, Elara had ignored it, the call of duty, of practicality. Drowned out the voice that spoke only to her heart. Her father's farm needed tending. Her siblings needed care, and the village whispered expectations as loudly as the wind carried secrets. Dreams, she had been told, were for those who could afford them, but the whisper remained patient, waiting. One evening, as the sky burned in hues of amber and violet, Elara found herself by the river's edge, toes sinking into the cool earth. The whisper came again, this time woven into the rustle of the reeds, into the rippling water that danced around smooth stones. "Go," it said. "Follow." Her heart pounded in response. She had spent years pretending she did not long for more, that the ache in her chest was simply the weight of responsibility. But the whisper would not be silenced. It spoke of roads untraveled, of stories waiting to be written, of a world beyond the village's border. Taking a breath, she knelt by the water and traced her reflection. Was this the face of a dreamer? Of someone who could leave behind certainty for the unknown? She had been raised to be strong, to be steadfast. Yet, as she gazed at her own eyes, she saw something else. Hunger, not for food nor for comfort, but for life itself. The days that followed were filled with quiet decisions. A map tucked beneath her pillow, a bundle of provisions set aside, a farewell written but never spoken. The night she left, the moon bathed the path in silver light, and the whisper curled around her like a guiding hand. "Yes," it sighed, "now." Her journey led her beyond fields of golden wheat and forests thick with mystery. She walked until her feet ached, rested beneath skies crowded with stars, and listened as the whisper grew louder. It was no longer a fleeting voice. It was a steady rhythm, a heartbeat entwined with her own. Cities rose before her, vast and pulsing with life. She found work in a bustling market, trading stories for coin, dreams for shelter. She met people who would follow their own whispers, artists with ink-stained fingers, scholars with eyes alight with knowledge, wanderers who carried the world in their footsteps. Each encounter wove another thread into the tapestry of her journey. Each experience shaped the woman she was becoming. Years passed, and the girl from the quiet village became a name spoken in taverns, a writer whose words carried the weight of 1,000 whispered promises. She had followed the call, and in doing so, had found herself. One evening, as she stood atop a hill overlooking the sea, she felt the wind press against her cheek, warm and knowing. The whisper had led her far, but she understood now. It had never been a guide to a place, but to a truth, that within her, she had always carried the promise of who she was meant to be. With a smile, she turned toward the horizon, the whisper now silent. It no longer needed to speak. She had finally answered,